Listen closely to what is not said. The exchange begins politely, almost casually, the way so many consequential moments in congressional oversight do. "Thank you, Director Patel, for being here today." There is no accusation in the opening, no raised voice, no grandstanding. Congressman Ted Lieu does not posture or signal outrage. Instead, he begins assembling a narrow factual chain, one link at a time, with the patience of someone who understands that accountability is built not on emotion but on records. The FBI searched Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan residence. Patel answers cautiously, vaguely, saying he believes it happened in 2018, and that there may have been two locations. Lieu corrects him without commentary, 2019. The correction is quiet, but it matters. Precision matters. Dates matter. Memory matters. Lieu continues. In that residence, the FBI found a safe. Patel does not deny it. He says he does not have the catalog of evidence in front of him. Lieu repeats the question, unchanged, stripping away the escape hatch of uncertainty. In that residence, the FBI found a safe. Patel says he will accept that representation. Then Lieu moves to the next link, the one that shifts the room. In that safe, the FBI found topless and lewd photographs of girls. Patel again does not confirm or deny. He says he will accept the representation, and that he does not know. Lieu does not argue. He does not editorialize. He anchors the claim to the public record, calmly reminding everyone that this was widely reported at the time, citing the 8th of July 2019 New York Times article describing Epstein's indictment and the discovery of nude photographs of girls inside a safe in his Manhattan mansion. With the factual foundation established, Lieu introduces testimony that has never been fully tested in court or in public oversight. Author Michael Wolff conducted numerous interviews with Epstein and claims Epstein personally showed him what was inside the safe. A video clip is played. Wolff describes sitting with Epstein being told to wait, watching Epstein open the safe, pull out Polaroids, and spread them out like playing cards. He says the images depicted Donald Trump with girls of uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, the same location where many of the alleged crimes later surfaced. Wolff recalls vividly two photographs of topless girls sitting on Trump's lap, and a third image in which Trump had a stain on the front of his pants, while the girls pointed and laughed. When the clip ends, Lieu still does not accuse. He does not declare guilt or assert certainty. He asks a broad, careful question. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are public photos of them together. Patel acknowledges that such photos exist. Lieu narrows the scope. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of uncertain age? Patel answers no. Lieu asks the most important follow-up. How do you know that? Patel responds with institutional confidence, saying that such information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the last 20 years. Lieu calmly dismantles that assumption. He points out that no one knew about Trump's disturbing birthday message to Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it, after which the Epstein estate suddenly provided it to Congress. Patel was not present at the search. He does not know what Epstein may have done with photographs before the search. Someone else could have copies. The estate could have them. The question then shifts from implication to diligence. Has Patel personally asked to speak with Michael Wolff? Has the FBI interviewed Wolff? Patel says he does not know. Has the FBI subpoenaed the tapes Wolff recorded of Epstein? Again, Patel says he does not know. Lieu then asks whether Patel has personally reviewed all photographs in the Epstein files. Patel responds carefully, saying he reviewed the information investigators provided him to run out credible leads. That answer matters, because it defines the boundary of Patel's personal knowledge. Lieu presses again. Was Trump's birthday message in the Epstein file? Patel says no, explaining once more that the Epstein estate possesses a voluminous amount of unreleased information. That explanation leads directly to the most revealing moment of the exchange. Wouldn't it be appropriate, Lieu asks, for the FBI to subpoena the Epstein estate for all that information? Patel replies that the estate is under no obligation to provide the material even pursuant to a subpoena. Lieu immediately calls that statement false, saying plainly that the FBI absolutely can subpoena the estate, and should do so. Patel insists that is not how it works. The contradiction is stark. Then Lieu moves to the client list. Patel has confirmed it exists. The Attorney General has confirmed it exists. Lieu asks a simple, direct question. Is Prince Andrew on the client list? Patel deflects, saying the material related to Prince Andrew has been made public. Lieu asks again whether Prince Andrew is on the list. Patel refers to an index of names. Lieu then asks whether Donald Trump is on Epstein's client list. Once again, Patel refuses to answer directly, saying the index speaks for itself. Time expires. What remains is not a denial and not a confirmation, but a conspicuous void. The FBI director could not or would not state whether a former president appears in the files of one of the most consequential criminal investigations in modern American history. What matters here is not what Patel denied, but what he never said. Ted Lieu did not speculate, he did not accuse, he did not perform outrage. He walked the FBI director through a narrow factual sequence and allowed the gaps to speak for themselves. The FBI searched Epstein's Manhattan safe. Media reports described explicit photographs. An author claims Epstein personally displayed images implicating powerful individuals. Yet the official now overseeing the files could not confirm whether he personally reviewed all material, whether first-hand witnesses were interviewed, whether recordings were subpoenaed, or whether evidence held by the Epstein estate was ever compelled through legal process. That tension forces three realities into the open. First, evidence versus explanation. Patel leaned on two defenses: that he reviewed what investigators brought him, and that some material may be controlled by the Epstein estate. Neither defense constitutes transparency without a documented trail of subpoenas, court filings, and judicial decisions. Saying, "We released what we legally can," is not transparency unless the legal barriers themselves are placed on the record. Second, what transparency actually looks like. Lieu did not ask for victims' identities or demand the public release of illicit material. He asked whether every credible lead was pursued, whether journalists who claimed first-hand exposure were interviewed, whether tapes were subpoenaed, whether comprehensive inventories exist. That is trauma-sensitive transparency, achieved through redacted summaries, evidence inventories, and court filings that explain why sealing remains necessary, while still allowing the public to evaluate whether an investigation was exhaustive or constrained. Third, the political perimeter around process. This exchange shows how promises of openness can collapse into procedural opacity once authority is assumed. Voluntary cooperation by an estate is not a substitute for compulsory legal action when the public interest is overwhelming. If subpoenas were never attempted, that decision requires explanation. If courts refuse disclosure, those orders belong in the public record. This is not about politics. It is about process. Real accountability would look like a categorized inventory of seized materials, files, devices, photographs, tapes, financial records, with clear explanations of what remains sealed and why, copies of motions to unseal or narrow redactions, records of how courts responded, confirmation of whether the Epstein estate was subpoenaed, and if not, why, all guided by survivor-centered principles that protect victims, while demanding institutional accountability. Accountability is not built on assurances, it is built on records, and until elected officials stop accepting evasions and start demanding documents, motions, inventories, and timelines, confidence in the system will not be restored. This moment deserves scrutiny and remembrance, because it demonstrates how accountability is supposed to function in theory, and how it quietly, methodically breaks down in practice.